Welcome back, Syndicate members. It is I, Joshua Mammoth, back with a dramatic entrance. After a short hiatus, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. As you can see, Rachel is back with me.
I'm back, ready to review some comics.
And we put a shout out to Paulo out there.
Hey, Paul.
Hope he's doing well. So, we got a good one tonight.
Oh, we got a great one. I'm excited about this one.
I actually chose this one because it's kind of funny. Like the past 3 or 4 conventions that I've been to, I have ran into Jose Fuentes.
Very true. Yeah.
And
he's just always there.
And he's like the nicest guy in the whole world.
He is.
So we, I guess I originally saw him a little ways back at DaytonaCon, and he actually wasn't really at the table. Well, he was at the table, but he was like kind of behind the books drawing or something.
Yeah.
And that's where we met Haley Martin, and we picked up Bear #1, and we picked up our original copy of Obsoletes #1.
Yes.
And then we had them sign that copy, and of course Haley signed Bear as well. But then we showed up at Charlie's, and he was there.
Yeah.
Trevor, with them, and yeah, he had some good stuff there. And his portrait work on those covers that he draws on.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
I agree. I love when I see that when they're in the booths drawing their stuff and everything. You get to see some of their pencil work.
He's constantly really drawing cool. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he lets us flip through his pages of his work that he's doing.
A little behind the scenes of it all.
Yeah, and so we ended up picking up our second copy of Obsoletes #1. So we actually have two alternate covers.
I was about to say, they're different covers.
Yeah, they're different covers. And then we bump into him again, and that was at SiestaCon.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's last one too.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting, I got an obsolete #2 here with his signature on it. So I know I got this from him at some point, and then I got this Divinity from him as well with his signature on it. I think he did the inks on this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a lot of contact with Mr. Fuentes, so I thought we should do the Obsoletes and look through some of his stuff here, because he actually did the inks for the Obsolete. Well, so what's really cool is so Haley Martin did the coloring though,
right?
For it, so we're familiar with her work through Bear,
which is a really cool.
And she drew Bear.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a really good artist as well.
I really enjoy her work too.
Yeah. I've already read Bear #2. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh. Hang on a second. Okay. Sorry. Trev had a little mishap over there. Yeah, and so we've seen him at so many cons, and I've had a lot of conversations. Paulo had some conversations with him, so I thought we should really dive into this tonight.
Yeah, because again, his work is really cool, and I really enjoy it. So why not?
Definitely. Okay, so the Obsoletes #1, and actually this was a kind of a cool concept because I didn't know quite what to expect. I mean, by the name of it, you're kind of expecting, like old dudes, that
right?
But it doesn't kind of start out that way, though.
No, you start out and they're just on a really interesting looking planet, and I gotta say that was something I really enjoyed about this book was all the background of the planet that they did, because man, it
was weird.
Yeah, the aliens that they had. I mean, it was. I would not want to be on that planet.
I actually appreciate the weirdness that
yeah, because I have not seen anything like that before.
And not just the planet, but the creatures.
The creatures, yeah, they're terrifying.
And their equipment was really interesting.
It really was, yeah. But yeah, it starts out right at the start, and they're on the planet. Just it looks like they're looking for something.
Oh, you know what? because a little mishap here. We should take a minute to say this is a Silverline.
Oh, this is a Silverline.
Yeah.
Which is one of our favorites.
Yeah, so this is a Silverline. The story was written by Wes Locher.
Oh, right.
And the pencils is Aaron Humphres.
Yeah, they had some really good people on this.
Yeah, so because we've already mentioned Haley was on the book. So yeah, so back to them on the planet, and so they're we got a couple of guys on the ground out from the spacecraft that has entered the somewhere here Polaris system. And they're scouting out something, but we don't quite know what it is.
No, it's just one guy's just trying to get the other guy to go on vacation, which I can relate to that. So
you don't really have to try very hard for me.
I really don't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm already kind of on vacation half the time in my head anyway. But what I like about this too, so the guy, there's a guy in here, and he has sort of like half power armor.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of this like old '90s cartoon called Exo Squad. I don't know why. I don't know, Trevor. You want a side by side? Wait, I don't know. I kind of liked it though, and I like the fact that these like creatures were just jumping up from the ponds in here.
Oh my God, they were everywhere, and that's what I mean. And they looked crazy. I just couldn't understand if they were acting so calm. I would not have.
Well, first off, the guy in the power armor, okay, I'm cool with being that guy. I'm not cool with being the guy that, number one, is breathing whatever air is out there, and also having to walk into whatever type of water this is.
Because again, there's creatures just popping out of everywhere, and one of them almost gets him. So
yeah, and you fall in the water, and it's getting in your mouth, and it's just, come on now.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're trekking through this planet, and it looks really cool. I do have to say, it's super alien.
I think they really took their time to kind of figure out what they wanted here, too.
Yeah.
At least it seems that way.
If they did it, man, they did an amazing job.
Because I like the way that we didn't quite know what they were looking for until the guy pulls out this instrument.
Yeah.
And then it tells you, like on the little instrument, that it's I think uranium.
I think so. Yeah.
And
but yeah, so that's what they're.
Yeah, that's what they're scouting for. Mm-hmm. So they're miners, is what we end up finding out.
And then they call it to their, what do you want to call, mothership or whatever, the one that's actually orbiting. And that's when they tell them, okay, this is what we're doing, this is where we're at, let's do it. Apparently they did it a lot quicker than somebody else did, which I thought was, pretty impressive of them.
And so the ship that's orbiting sends down these like missiles, and then as they come to the planet, they descend to the planet. They break apart into these massive drills.
Yeah.
At least that's what it looks like. It's kind of like in TMNT, only those like came up from the ground. These are going into the ground from the sky.
Very true.
Oh, and there's no one getting out of this either.
But they're still dealing with like these creatures and stuff.
Oh,
like I said,
this huge worm thing comes like out of the ground like right before
gets up. Luckily, the guy in the
so
outfit helps him out.
I'm gonna have to say that their plan to get off of this planet was brave and highly stupid at the same time, because their buddy Knox takes off. Okay, he's flying overhead. Try to put that up. He's flying overhead. So this worm comes out of the ground. Now, here's the thing: they don't know exactly how high this worm's going to come out of the ground. They don't know where it's going to go. But let's grab onto it and take off.
Well, you don't technically know. Maybe they've been at this planet before and they know about this worm, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to be the perfect launch for us."
I don't know, man.
But yeah, it was pretty impressive and kind of stupid in the same sense. But they got up there. I'm telling you though, again, like creatures are just coming at them.
I'm surprised that worm could raise them with balls that big. I tell you.
But it was impressive. But they got up there, and
no, they did. Yeah, actually,
people took care of them.
Yeah, they actually got in there. They all survived, and they got off the planet intact.
Yeah, like okay, mission accomplished. We did this. And then apparently they do cryo sleep. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do cryo sleep, and that's how they got there. It was 20 days getting there. So like, all right, 20 days back. Let's get into the thing. They wasted no time. I mean,
But
take a shower.
if it's only 20 days, though, why bother?
Well, because you don't have to take food and all that other stuff for 20 days.
I know, man, but being asleep for 20 days seems unsettling.
Well, I don't like the whole thing to begin with, but here we are.
Yeah, because I could see if it's like, 2 or 3 years, but 20 days? Man,
Hey, cut costs.
eat some ration packs. Play some cards or something.
I don't want to deal with all that.
Man. Well, we'll find out late in a couple of minutes here why the ration packs may have been a better plan.
Definitely a better plan, but yeah, they literally don't take a shower, nothing. They just get right into these cryo.
Smelling like worm and everything.
Just ready to go. They're ready to get back, I guess, because then it's just gonna be a sleep away. So the guy go ahead and enter it. And I think it was year 2076.
It was 2076, yes.
So they're in 2076. So they're just punching away on what he needs to do.
Not paying attention, by the way, punching away.
Yeah.
And they awaken to...
Well, what the problem is they can't dock.
Oh, right, the ship alerts
He keeps giving
them.
an error, and he's like, "Who's in my spot?" And I'm like, "Wow, you got a spot? Good for you, dude." And he's getting, frustrated. And
Well, yeah, because he works for a guy.
Yeah. So finally, he's like, okay, let's see what's going on. They look out, and they don't. Yeah, there's no dog.
Well, the clever part here is that in the paneling here, when they're going to sleep, they make sure to point out the date on the computer.
Yeah.
In a clever way, Trevor. And then when they awaken, it's also the same thing. So I thought that was kind of cool because they don't actually say it.
Yeah, at first, but you get to see it.
Yeah, but they show you on the computer before, so you know what happened before the characters in the story actually do.
That's true. Which I thought was cool because the whole time I'm like, guys, do I want to look at this?
And so they're actually pretty amazed about how much the city has changed in only 20 years.
Yeah, and that's not that surprising. A lot can change in 20 years.
I know, but the clever thing is they didn't just keep expanding their highway and making it wider.
They build buildings here too. Oh, God.
But actually, I will say that I do love this cityscape, though.
Oh, it looks real, again, like very alien. I don't know how to describe it.
So I think the collaboration of artists here was actually really
cool, yeah.
tremendous because they really pulled it off all together.
I agree. Yeah, it looks really cool. And they finally start figuring out what's going on. And to say that they're not pleased is an understatement.
Well, because Knox had a young daughter.
Yeah.
Who is no longer a young daughter.
Yeah, 20 years older overnight.
And so they're kind of wondering why he's not freaking out. And I was kind of wondering that too. So I guess he's just kind of internalizing it a little bit, trying not to explode.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, you're off the hook, man.
It's all that back child support now.
Oh.
Yeah, he's freaking it. But yeah, no, I'm sure that's not why. But anyways. No, he is just he really controlled himself because I would punch that guy in the face. Though.
But he did the one thing I wouldn't do. He goes to his boss and asks for the money for the mining operation from 20 years ago.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere, I guess. He ended up getting a job from it, though.
Well, he goes in there, and the boss actually recognizes him.
After a minute, yeah. He's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be dead. And he thought all of them were dead.
Well, okay. That granted, they've been gone for 20 years. But here's my question. Where the frack is this ship been?
That's a good question.
The ship had to have had a course put in to go back to, I'm guessing this was Earth or a planet like it, to go back and land at friggin' dude's place, right?
Yeah.
So even if the guy set the alarm for AM instead of PM, the ship itself should have still gotten back to its destination in the correct amount of time, and then they'd been like, "Oh, these boneheads like misset the clock," and just woke them up.
Maybe the computer was like, "Oh, 20 years, we got some time. We're gonna leave around here." For
Oh,
a while.
no reason to go to FTL.
Exactly.
Thrusters.
We'll just go at our speed. You don't know. But yeah, so the guy did not punch him in the face, and he's not freaking out as bad as I would be freaking out. But yeah, he goes to the boss, and the boss recognizes him, and he's ordering for a job.
Well, no, actually, he does try to actually attack the boss, and then these like weird Inspector Gadget hands come up and grab him. And, like,
Inspector Gadget hands.
And then they pull him away from the boss.
Yeah, and that's when we get to see pretty much the three characters that have replaced them. And that's why we know that they're obsolete. It's now because of 20 years. They're not really old, it's just because they're outdated.
Well, obviously, they got Inspector Gadget hands.
I'm just saying, that's why they're outdated.
But also, too, they say they've been replaced. They've been gone 20 years. These guys have
been replaced like 10 times over.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the first crew that this guy's hired.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the latest crew this guy's hired, but obviously he's had other crews. I mean, these guys have been gone a long time.
Yeah, but I have to say, the new crew looks pretty cool.
But Knox keeps arguing that, but we're the best. You got to give us this chance to go on this run instead of these losers. I'm like, but dude, you're really not the best because the last run it took you 20 years to get back.
That's true.
I mean, okay, you can blame it on Wicker. Okay, fine. But he's part of your crew.
That's true. You only have 3 of you, so.
And no offense, why didn't you check his work?
I know, I agree.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going into hypersleep.
Not with that guy.
Remember what happened to Ripley?
Oh, wow. Oh, she's so funny.
She had a daughter, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they start going back and forth, and they want double the money and everything else. And finally, at the end, the guy goes, "You know what? Whoever gets to it first."
I don't think Knox is entitled to that money, though, from 20 years ago. He did not complete that run. By not returning in the time allotted.
Yeah, the guy never paid off what he found.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I mean, he wanted that money quick.
Yeah, he wanted the money, but unfortunately, you did not complete the mission. Everybody knows in a video game, you don't complete the mission, you don't get the money. You don't go to the next mission.
Well, it worked in his favor.
I guess it did, but if I'm the new crew, I'm already going to be kind of pissed. And
I think they are.
And I'm going to try to sabotage their vessel.
You do. I guess we got to read number 2 to find out.
Actually, I got number 2 right here. So
I
already found out Syndicate members. But I'll put everything down below so you guys can also find out.
I waited so I didn't spoil.
I have to find out because I got to the end of it and I was like, you know what? But also, too, their ship is old by now.
Very outdated.
I mean, if you got people walking around with Inspector Gadget hands, what are these new ships doing?
You know what, though? Sometimes that works out in their favor for it being an old ship. Think Battlestar. That worked out for them.
Oh, it did, I guess, yeah.
I'm just saying. You don't know? Well, you know a little bit more, but...
Oh, so how did you feel about The Obsoletes?
Oh, I thought it was a really fun read. I thought it was kind of clever how they did the time thing. Because I was wondering, I'm like, how are they going to, be obsolete? I'm like, they seem like really on top of everything. But yeah, so I thought it was clever how they did that. And again, I just really liked the art in it. I thought it looked cool. I thought the aliens were like very alien-like.
The alien planet was very alien. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like it when they make it look like the plant life different. All the creatures were really weird.
Because I feel like back in the day, like in the 70s and 60s when they first started doing like the alien stuff, man, that stuff looked like crazy looking. Like that was alien. Nowadays we can more just make it look like humans and everything else. So I thought it was very clever that they did that.
It kind of reminded me a little bit, well, besides like the obvious stuff that's not in it, but a little bit of Heavy Metal Magazine in a way. the art and
I can see
the
that.
creatures and stuff. Because there's some of the short stories in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Without the TNA and the cursing. All the other stuff that makes heavy metal that popular. But I really did enjoy the story. But I felt Knox kind of was like a little entitled. You know, he got back and he's kind of blaming his boss a little bit, thinking he needs the money. But I mean, he probably doesn't need the money, but doesn't really deserve it.
Well, I think he's just freaking out at this point. And is just needing to just concentrate on that.
The other two guys don't really seem to care all that much, though.
Well, because like one of them said they had nothing to leave behind, so they're like 20 years is whatever to them. They're still young, so they haven't aged, which that's kind of cool.
Unfortunately, he's got a lot of new Star Wars to catch up on, so that's really not much to look forward to.
Man, they're still gonna be, yeah, they'll still be making it 26. Right? They will on new Star Wars.
Another thing that I actually did appreciate is the fact that it was a quick read, but it just like it had a lot of action in it. It had some pretty clever humor in it.
It had like the backgrounds were really cool, so even though it was a quick read, you kind of like stared at everything for quite a while.
There was
really
some good
wanted to like
stares
kind of get in, everything.
Especially that cityscape. That was so good.
Oh, I like the alien planet. I'm telling you, one of those bugs, like those are, because they're bugs, I don't know what they want to call them, but they look crazy. I like them. I wouldn't want to be on that planet, though. He definitely needs a better vacation spot.
Well, there might be some nice places on there. We didn't really see the beach areas. Because parts of that planet did kind of look like Florida a little bit. I mean, we do have some pretty big bugs.
That's true.
And
I don't go there either.
And they do eat people. So.
I don't think we have those kind of bugs.
They drain blood.
Oh.
The same thing.
Mosquitoes. Oh my god. You're
funny. So do you have anything?
No, just make sure you pick it up because I'm about to read the second copy. So
I'll put all the Silverlines down below, and make sure you hit them up. And also I'll put down their social medias because you guys should definitely give them a follow.
Yeah, because not just Obsoletes, like everything we've read from them has been so awesome and in so many different reasons why. So there's really something for everyone.
Yeah, because Silverline is cool too because they put. As you're reading it, they'll put little taglines down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I meant to shout that out. I thought that was funny, yeah.
About various other books that they have out there. So I've read a lot of Silverline. Twilight Grim is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I'm well versed in a lot of their comics. Also, another one I read recently was Cape Town. The one with the shiny cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good too. So I would definitely recommend checking out Obsoletes because this story is going to be really good.
I agree.
So, all right, Syndicate members. Oh, you know what? I'm going to shout out to William and Leah because I know you're watching out there. So,
hey guys, what's up?
So, all right, Syndicate members. Between the known and the unknown lies the mammoth. I'll see you next time.